Hey everyone, the name is Chris Barocsi. Welcome to Gear Corner. Today, we'll have a short comparison between the AnalogMan King of Tone, the Chase Bliss Brothers AM, and the Castellator Toxic Twins, which is, in a way, an oddball because that's not a King of Tone pedal. It's not a clone. It just does that kind of voicing and sound and feel really well as well, but only its left side, which is the Bluesbreaker type circuit. The right side is a whole different story. The question is, why would I include this last pedal? Because it's not really a clone. It's not really the same thing. Well, first of all, as told, it sounds and feels very similar in certain settings, and second of all, it's much more easy to get. It's a much more obtainable or easy to find pedal. The price is much lower. Don't get me wrong, it's not a budget pedal. It's a hand-wired high-end pedal, so it's gonna cost something, but you cannot really compare that to like the used prices of KOT pedals, if you know what I mean. It's not gonna cost you $1,000. The rig, I will use 3 different guitars, the Strat, Tele, and the Les Paul, going into the Rev D40 Dynamis, that one on the top, which is an amazing, clean sort of pedal platform, pedal-friendly amplifier. And that goes into the aux box for a 2x12 cabinet simulation with some mics in front of it. That is an Arnico speaker loaded sort of cab sim. And that goes into the Kailani by VTR Effects. That's an amazing reverb pedal. I only use the spring reverb and then go into the interface and then into the DAW. This is how the amp sounds like without the pedals on. My thoughts and impressions. The pedals are really similar. Let's be honest. If you just play, this kind of stuff, all three are gonna be pretty much identical. But as soon as you start playing dynamically and, I don't know, maybe play subtle stuff as well, or maybe reduce the gain a little bit, those differences start to pop out. It's interesting how in some settings, for example, the King of Tone and the Brothers AM are absolutely identical, and then in some other settings the Brothers seems to have more mid-range, like a more pronounced, whichever frequency that is, but a little less low-end heavy and a little more mid-range compared to the King of Tone, which is the opposite of what I've heard with the Toxic Twins, which in some cases sounds more amp-like or scooped, like a little less pronounced mid-range and more low-end. That's something that's so impressive about the Toxic Twins, is how big it sounds. And still, if the amp is clean, it's super tight, so it doesn't sacrifice tightness for more low-end. The King of Tone is really like the middle of the road, like best of both worlds kind of thing. It does have a very pronounced, very unique and recognizable mid-range, that mid-hump that it has, and that is like the King of Tone sound, especially with like a Strat neck pickup that is like, oh yeah, I know that sound. And that's awesome, but it doesn't overdo it. So if you would just want a big rock or classic rock or blues rock rhythm sound, well, there you go. It's not too mid-humpy. They feel almost identical. The Brothers is closer to the King of Tone's nuances than the Toxic Twins, but the Toxic Twins has a bit more of that chewy, nasty, awesome neck pickup sound thing that I don't know what you would call it other than chewy. That's something that the King of Tone does exceptionally well, and the Toxic Twins comes really, really close. I like all three pedals equally. I'm not saying here like, oh, nothing can touch the King of Tone. If you're after that exact sound, then yes, it's true. But if you just want a really, really good, very reactive, very dynamic, super versatile drive pedal or dual-sided drive pedal, any of these three is gonna be amazing, because the voicing is gonna be 99 point some percent there, and the feature is going to be different, of course. The Chase Bliss is MIDI controllable, has presets, has a treble booster built in. There's so much inside. So that's going to be the versatility king, and the King of Tone and Toxic Twins are much more traditional in a way. They have some internal dip switches for, like, the type of clipping, hard clipping, soft clipping, this and that, but much less versatile on the fly. So it really comes down to your preferences. Do you want to spend the least amount of money but get the highest end product possible? Toxic Twins. Do you want something that is really hard to get and just that's going to be your jam of your collection? Well, King of Tone. And if you want something that is going to be very much live friendly and will be MIDI controllable and do a lot of things, then obviously it's the Brothers AM. So there's no losers here, as I expected and as should be. And you guys let me know in the comments if you heard any differences, what those differences were. I'm ready to accept the fact that you hear something else. All right, see you down there in the comments, and meet you in the next video very soon. Bye-bye.